Saw this earlier at the EA press conference, but joining me now in the First Look Lounge with more for Need for Speed Rivals is Craig Sullivan. Craig, good to see you as always.
Thank you.
Need for Speed is entering a new generation, a very exciting time for you guys, and we have a demo, what you guys are showing on the floor, but we have an exclusive here in our First Look studio.
It's the world exclusive.
The world exclusive.
So E3 opens up tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm fresh from the press conference that we did today, where we showed a couple in a racer playing through two of the roads, but this is actually what we're going to show. It's going to be 6 players tomorrow, 3 players as a racer, 3 players as a cop.
Okay.
I think we've got like 3 or 4 different booth setups, so a lot of players playing, and they'll get to play a 10-minute demo that's a wider section of the game, so this is the very first look at that kind of content.
Fantastic. Thanks for bringing it by. Walk us through what we're seeing. Obviously, the first thing you notice, the graphics.
The graphics are good. The new machines allow us to push the visual bar way beyond before, where we ever could before.
Right.
This is, I think, James, our lead designer, actually driving in a beautiful Ferrari F12 here. As you can see, the car looks amazing. The car's wet. It's recently been raining in Redview County, which is where our game is set. And then you can see things like at the top of the screen, we have scoring, speed points, and heat levels. And actually, a cool thing that we're bringing into the game is that the idea of we have very high risk reward scoring. So the multiplier you see just above the car, just where it says EMP locking on there, the longer you stay out as a racer, the higher that multiplier will get. But you don't earn those points without banking them. So it's kind of, we like to call it kind of, it's all about greed, right? It's how long you're willing to stay out before you go and bank those speed points in the hideout. If you get busted by any of the cops in the game, I think James is actually being chased by another player at the moment. If you look on the mini-map, you can see there's a cop chasing him. If he gets busted, he loses all of those points. So it's kind of, it's up to you how long you want to stay out and how much you're willing to risk in this game. It's really, and he just got busted, so he lost all of his points.
Just lost them all. So talk a little bit about that cat and mouse dynamic. Obviously, something that in the name Rivals is big. In a typical play session, you bounce back and forth, or what is it going to be like in terms of?
The game is really embracing next generation, and it's all about connected, and we're really all about friends. So you will be able to play all the way through a career as a racer, or all the way through a career as a cop. And that's leaning into the rivalries of the game. The cop versus racer is one of the oldest rivalries there is, but it's also the rivalry between you and your friends. We have autolog back in the game. It was in Most Wanted and in Hot Pursuit. So we will track the rivalries between you and your friends, whether or not they're playing as cop or racers. You'll be able to compete over race times, jumps, whatever you've done in different cars. But it's really, it is all about the new feature we're pushing, which is called All Drive, right? We're destroying the line between single player and multiplayer. And that's something that people are really going to experience at E3.
Right.
So James is actually playing, or whoever's driving the Ferrari at the moment, he's actually playing through a single player experience here. You can see on the right-hand side of the screen it says join a race. He's got these what we call shot lists. You've got these set of objectives that are running all the time, and he's playing through a single player progression, but he's actually playing in a world where there are other humans. So there are other cops in here, there are other racers driving around, and he can interact with them if he wants to, or he can go and interact with the AI. So we've completely blown away the barriers of single player, multiplayer. There's no lobbies, none of that stuff, no waiting. It's all about going in and then just having your friends turn up when they want to. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, a lot of times, with console launches and new generations of consoles, the first thing, like you said, is the graphics that people see. But this generation, it seems like it's more about rethinking design, rethinking what a genre really means, and introducing connectivity in more meaningful ways. Was that part of the plan from the word go with Rivals, about rethinking what a racing experience should be?
Yeah, I think next generation, as a game developer, yes, we know the graphics are going to get better, right? Every game has pretty good graphics these days, right? Yes, Frostbite 3 allows us to do amazing graphics. Frostbite 3 also used in Battlefield, and that game looks amazing. But it's about next generation thinking to us. What are the things that we want to do that we couldn't do before? We want to have this seamless open world where people can drop in and drop out and allow you to kind of distract yourself with other human players in the game. So that's an experience that certainly Need for Speed players haven't had before. And that's our next generation thinking and pushing us to kind of really embrace the connected generation and really go to town with Need for Speed Rivals.
Tell us a little bit more about the setting and the environments. What type of courses we'll be exposed to within the game?
So it's a fully open world game. There are over 100, 150 miles of open roads, but there are a lot of kind of off-road drivable surfaces as well. For people who've played Most Wanted or Hot Pursuit, the world is bigger than both of those games. And you can drive anywhere at any time. You can start events just by pulling up to an event. pulling a trigger, the racers are spawned in straight away and you know, start kind of racing you through the open world. The cops can turn up at any time, so if you have a cop human who's driving around, you could be playing a race with AI racers, and that cop could come in and now start a chase in that race. And it's about the seamless blending around. But Redview County is really built for high speeds. You know, Most Wanted, the last Need for Speed game that was out last year that I worked on, that was more kind of dense. You know, it's a city environment. It's more like driving around in LA, right? And you know, I know the traffic's terrible out here in LA.
I drive like this in LA.
I would like to see that in a car. Is this one of your cars as well? Is this how you guys roll?
You can
right?
borrow it
in
for
the
the
Ferrari.
game.
Okay, that'll be good. I need to go down to the convention center later, so I'll borrow that.
Yeah, but I mean, it seems obviously speed is at the forefront of the experience here. I mean, the entire time you've been racing, it's been you know, pretty much pedal to the metal. Is that what you can experience, what you will experience mostly in the game?
I mean, you know, we always say the clue's in the name, right? The game's called Need for Speed, Rival, so it has to be about high-speed driving. Average speeds around here are way higher than they were in Need for Speed Most Wanted, so these roads are designed to push the maximum speed to the cars. James' off-road is here, and he's only going like 80 miles an hour. If he gets back on the road, he can really open it up. This car goes like 207 miles an hour, so we're finding that a lot of the gameplay is taking place between 150, 200 miles an hour, so it's a much faster game.
Yeah.
This is not one of the fastest cars in the game. There are cars that go way, way faster than that, and the cops have, you know, kind of really cool, very fast exotic cars as well, so it's something that really gets your heart pounding when you're playing it, and it's, you know, it's something that we're really proud of.
Yeah, well, we really appreciate you bringing by this world-exclusive first look at the game. It's looking gorgeous. Need for Speed is going into a new generation, so thanks so much for giving us the first look. We appreciate it as always.